Hi everyone, welcome. I'm really glad to have you here. I'm putting together something today as a very special request for a very special lady. And I thought I would bring you all along. Now, let me first of all start out by saying there are chemicals in this. But there are chemicals in everything. Did you know your body is made up of hundreds of different chemicals? Did you know that just water is made up of two chemicals, oxygen and hydrogen? There are chemicals all around us. What I try to avoid are a lot of harmful man-made chemicals. But we cannot completely do without chemicals, or we wouldn't have glass. We wouldn't have so many of the things in our life. We wouldn't have stainless steel. I could go on and on. There are a lot of chemical processes that are necessary. I try to cut back on unnecessary chemicals in whatever I make. This is one such thing. I'm about to make a pain gel for a specific customer, and she wanted as few chemicals in it as possible. And she wanted it in a gel form. And there are a lot of ways you can get a gel. You can make your own at home for short-term use using gelatin or using agar-agar. But those are not sustainable. They tend to be very short-lived. Even if you put a lot of preservative in them, they have a very short life and they tend to break down. So they don't last. Another thing that you may hear about a lot are carboners and several other chemicals that are used to cause gelling and to sort of act as a fastener between waters and oils, and much like emulsifying waxes. So it's sort of an emulsifier. So there are all these different things that you can use, and again, she wanted me to use very few chemicals. She wanted me to use a few essential oils, but basically a water formula. Well, what I got thinking about, because she wanted a gel, she didn't want a cream, and she didn't want something oily. She wanted a gel formula. So it hit me that I keep hyaluronic acid on hand. I make my silver serum is hyaluronic acid, which when mixed with water in a certain way and mixed and blended in the right proportions, you get a gel. Or a gel-like substance that is stable. Of course, because it's water, it does have to have a preservative in it. And we discussed this, and I am going to use Germall Plus in this in a very small percentage, in the safest possible percentage, and it's the safest preservative that I can find, and it's the closest to an organic substance. That being said, she wanted something that was warming and had specific essential oils in it, and that's what I have here. This is birch and wintergreen essential oil, which are both known to have to help with pain. I found a few articles at the National Institute of Health on this, so it's not just a made-up concept. But these sort of things don't give long-lasting pain relief. They're more of a topical reliever. They warm the skin in the area so it feels better, it's more comfortable, it relaxes you perhaps, and I think that the smell of wintergreen itself is quite relaxing as well. Okay, anyway, we're going to go ahead, and also of course menthol, which was something she insisted upon, and a lot of people really like menthol in a rub or a massage or a pain-killing kind of thing. I like the feel of menthol as well, but it's not for everyone. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin. I have this is distilled water. And to the distilled water, I'm going to add my hyaluronic acid. And I'm going to add a measured amount of menthol to this. All right. And now I'm going to just stir it together just to slightly moisten the hyaluronic acid. And this will also start dissolving the menthol crystals as well. Because I'm going to be hitting this with the stick blender, and it's better not to do that with your menthol crystals solid because they can fly up or fly out, and nobody wants that. Now I'll scrape all this off the side. I just wanted to start getting the hyaluronic acid hydrated and to get the menthol crystals dissolved so that they will mix well into this mixture. So the next step is I'm going to give this a few pulses with the stick blender now, the immersion blender. I just want to scrape down the sides a bit here. I don't want to waste any of that expensive hyaluronic acid. And it's already starting to create a gel. This is just going to now sit for about an hour. We're just going to let the rest of that hyaluronic acid there hydrate and clarify. I just wanted to give it a good blend to make sure the menthol was well distributed without. So we'll come back to this in just a few minutes here. Welcome back. Okay, so as you can see, you kind of have this crystallization in the gel. That means that most of the hydration has happened now. These are like little bubbles. And most of our hyaluronic acid is now dissolved. Now I'm going to add in, we're going to add in our birch and our wintergreen. Oh, this is very, very potent. All right. And now all we have to do is bottle it up. Hi, you know what? I forgot to turn the camera on when I was bottling, which I have done before, but I've done it again. I'll try harder, I promise. But anyway, here is the oil now, or the gel, excuse me. I did forget to mention something oh so important. You don't want to use anything with the wintergreen or probably the birch either if you are pregnant or going to be pregnant in the very near future. Listen, I am very, very cautious when it comes to making products for those people that are pregnant or are going to be pregnant. And we don't know all of the possible things that can, or I don't. Let me rephrase that. I don't know all of the things that could possibly be harmful. So I do put warnings on my labels that, if you're pregnant, do not use. And also that it has high menthol content just means you want to be careful when using around your eyes or other areas of the body that could be sensitive. You know where those areas are. So for the knees, elbows, your hands, if you have, sore hands or fingers, or just avoid those areas of the body that are extra sensitive. But I'll show you the consistency and my thoughts on it. So you need very little of this. A very little amount goes a very long way. And you can see it's a very loose gel. It's not terribly thick, but it's not so thin that it's going to run off either. And so you can take this very small. That's actually quite a bit of an amount. Remember, this has the hyaluronic acid in it too. So while it is hopefully helping to warm your area where you have pain, the hyaluronic acid, in case you're wondering what's happened here and what's happened here, this is why I'm wearing gloves when I'm doing everything. This happened when I was cooking, and that's what happens when hot oil pops up from the pan and hits you. That was a kitty scratch, and this was firewood. Cutting firewood, just a piece of wood, that's all that is. So I normally would not put my ugly scarred up hands on camera, but just for applying this, I thought it would be okay. All right. And already I can feel the warmth. I can feel the heat of the menthol, that wintergreen, and the birch. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I feel any pain relief because I don't have any pain, but it does feel good. I can see how this is calming. The fragrance, that wintergreen, is so fresh, and in this case, it's very calming, very, I don't know, makes me feel peaceful. It does, it really does. But it smells beautiful. If you like winter, the scent of wintergreen. If you don't, then perhaps not. But there you have it, the Wintergreen Relief Gel. If it's something you're interested in, I've made enough of this where I could bottle it up and put it in my shop. So if it's something you're interested in, you'll be able to find it there. Thanks everyone, and please have a wonderful day. Goodbye.